Switch now from one Carolina to another. North Carolina voters having their second primary day today. These are the runoff elections that we were following very closely in these statewide races. Now, we told you back in March during the initial primary day that the candidates had to get at least 30% plus one vote to be able to win. If they got less than that, then the second place finisher can then call for a runoff election. So this is what we're watching here tonight. The biggest one that we're watching, this one right here for lieutenant governor. You can see political strategist Hal Weatherman has won that race with 74% of the vote, won nearly every county here in North Carolina, except one right outside of Greensboro. And so Hal will now get the GOP nomination for lieutenant governor and will take on these two in November. This is Democrat Rachel Hunt as well as Libertarian Shannon Bray. Now, they will all three face off in November. Here's what's key here. Whoever wins in November, they will replace Mark Robinson, who's currently running for governor in North Carolina. And if Rachel Hunt were to win, she would become the first Democrat lieutenant governor since 2008. And so right now, Hal Weatherman has won the GOP nomination. He'll take on Rachel Hunt and Shannon Bray, who's the Libertarian candidate. So let's go and take a look at the other races that we're watching tonight in this second primary here in North Carolina. The other one, auditor. For state auditor, you can see Dave Bolick won with 53% of the vote. Here's another one that we're watching very closely. This one is interesting as well, is because, again, we told you back in March that the congressional districts in North Carolina have been reshaped a bit and redrawn. So this one, in Congressional District 13, it hugs Raleigh. North part, southern part of Raleigh kind of has a moon shape, crescent moon shape there around Raleigh. And you can see Brad Knott won with 90% of the vote. The reason why there, Kelly Daughtry actually had the most votes in March. She was the first place finisher. But the key here is that all these candidates were waiting for one key endorsement, and that was for former President Donald Trump. So Brad Knott, he received the endorsement of the former president and Donald Trump. Kelly Daughtry then said there's not a path forward for her, so she decided to drop out. Still, she did so just late enough. She appeared on the ballot, but Brad Knott won the GOP nomination when it comes to the 13th Congressional District. They will take on Frank Pierce. So Frank Pierce, Brad Knott for the 13th District. Again, the other one we're watching very closely, Lieutenant Governor Hal Weatherman, take on Rachel Hunt and Shannon Bray. We got you covered all elections here, South Carolina, North Carolina. We're watching all very closely for you.
And while the primary is done in North Carolina, voters in South Carolina and Georgia will need to know some important information. Georgia's primary is 1 week from today. It's Tuesday, May 21st. This includes primary races for November and nonpartisan elections. If any of those races go to a runoff, it will happen then on June 18th. Now, South Carolina's primary, as you heard earlier, Justin mentioned, it's Tuesday, June 11th. Any races where no candidates get 50% plus one vote will then head to a runoff 2 weeks later, which will be June 25th.